Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of COBLAB. We are interviewing our near and dear friends, Katie and Kyle.
And this week we'll be talking about Chipotle, retro gaming, and living the dream.
COBLAB, a hodgepodge of randomness.
Welcome to COBLAB, it's us. Chester, how we doing today?
Oh my gosh, we are doing so good. Was that Troye Sivan?
There could have been a little bit more beep boops and bops in there, and, you know, some more, like, words just, like, drawn out. Like, he'll take, like, a short word and then just, and just stretch it.
Like one of those, like, candy whistles you get? Well, I guess that's Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, today's such a good day. I love recording days. I love getting together and doing our little podcast. It's so good. Mm-hmm. Oh man, today's actually really good too because we were recording fabulous guests, and we're like on like we're trying to mix it up more and had change into the lineup, and we're doing a recording with 4 people today.
4 people.
Yeah.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4
Right.
people.
Oh my gosh. If you've never seen Sesame Street, you are doing yourself a disservice.
We also do a really bad count, or the count, so yeah, go watch Sesame Street. He does a way better job of himself.
Definitely. I'm much more of a snuffleupagus kind of guy.
I'm like an Oscar the Grouch, to be honest.
Whatever, Bert.
I guess I could be a Bert. Wait, no, is Bert the yellow one?
No, he's...
Yeah, he is. He's the yellow grumpy one.
No, that's...
No, Ernie.
Ernie's yellow.
No, because Ernie has the rubber ducky.
I guess Ernie is
the orange one,
yeah.
I'm more of an Ernie than a Bert.
You wish.
You're an Ernie.
Mm-hmm. In a world full of Berts, be a Ernie.
Oh, can I be from the Muppets, Professor Meep or whatever? Can I be him?
Beaker? Oh, no.
Yeah, Beaker. That's going to be the rest of the podcast.
Oh, my gosh. If you're Beaker, I have to go Swedish chef.
Please.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, talking about a bunch of crazy Muppets, we are interviewing 2 of our greatest friends that we have. It's none other than Katie and Kyle. So excited to have you guys. Say hi to those people.
Hey,
Hello,
lovely people.
Oh my gosh, that's super creepy. It's, what do they call it? Stereo? Yeah, that's what it is.
Simultaneous voices.
Right.
Yes.
I love it. Anywho, we've known you guys for quite a while, but we all just kind of got recently reconnected.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming up on a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
more
Where did
for
this year come from?
Oh, I guess, yeah, you guys have been back for a year. I haven't.
Oh, yeah, you haven't been
I
back
haven't
for
been
a
back
year.
for a year yet, so.
Yeah. Actually, my life is very different because of you guys. This whole year has been unreal. I can't even, now that I'm really thinking about it. We didn't even talk about this beforehand. It's like really surprising. It's hitting me really hard right now. You guys probably don't know this, but so Adam and I are the co-youth pastors here. But I showed up a little bit before Adam, and I was trying to make a plan of action of what the youth group would look like. And the podcast, the audio, some of the visual things that we do, I knew that I didn't know how to do them very well, and that I needed somebody to kind of encourage me, and not to be like overly religious about it, but I kept praying that God would kind of give me people because I didn't know how to find them necessarily. And you guys just walked up to me in like a Sunday service. You're like, hey, we want to help you. Also, this is what we do. And I was like, what? It was super similar. I mean, it was over the course of like a couple of weeks, but
We're like the most awkward people ever.
no,
That sounds pretty creepy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very apparent, right? Like that you guys came into this church at the right time, and you guys have changed so many aspects about this church, and you've only been back less than a year.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool because for me, like you guys are just like a little bit younger than I am, and so like we were in the same youth group together for a while, and then I just like disappeared and went off and did my own stuff, and you guys were off doing your own thing too, and so now like I'm coming back just not too long after you guys are coming back, and it's so cool to see how you guys have grown and changed over the years and all the cool stuff you guys are doing.
Yeah. So what do you guys
back.
do? What do you guys kind of do for? There's no title. You guys just wing it. But what do you guys normally do for the church?
For the church?
Yeah.
I feel like I just hang out.
I know you don't even. Gosh.
I mean, really? I just like to be here. I mean, I just like to hang out with the people. I don't.
Borrow the words of wisdom from all of our mentors, Luke Haynes. How do youth spell love? T-I-M-E.
Oh. I was like,
Yeah.
L-O-V-E,
Yeah.
what?
So you hanging out changes lives. But where do you hang out? Like, where do you find yourself hanging out the most, Katie?
At the church?
Yeah.
Just kind of everywhere. I kind of float around if Natalie needs me with a camera or anything like that. But now I just kind of drop off my camera and then roam around wherever I'm needed.
Which is kind of cool. On Sundays, you do...
The little kids.
Yeah, the littles.
Yes. My pride and joy, which kind of sounds weird, but it's not, I promise. I know, but I love the children. That's where I first started out in the ministry with Pastor Bethany a million years ago. And so now being back with the kids, it's like my favorite thing in the whole entire world.
I keep seeing you guys in the 2s and 3s room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that like home base now?
No, so we were just filling in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the winter term, we're going to be with the first graders.
I have no idea.
I
Shauna
think-
has
Oh,
not told
really?
us.
Yeah.
Just wherever we're going to be.
Good luck.
Yeah.
We
We
started-
love
yeah,
them. They're
they're awesome.
fantastic.
No, it's a great age
Fantastic,
group.
yeah.
Yeah, they're some of my favorite.
They get
ages.
rowdy, though. They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Well,
They're in
they
that-
finally have freedom.
Yeah.
They're not babies anymore.
Yep.
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 They're in that age, like, the 2s and 3s are great because they, like, everything you say is just, like, the coolest, most amazing thing in the world, and, like, you're the smartest human being ever, and then you flip over to the first graders, and it's like, why should I believe you?
Why do
like,
I need to do that?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure that that's right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and vote no. Like, why can't you just tell me I'm awesome and give me a hug?
It's
Just
fun,
like
though.
me.
Right. It's fun, though, because I get so bored. Like, as a person, I'm super bored. So if I do something, so if we were watching the little kids, just one age group, then I think I would probably get bored with it. But we're bouncing around everywhere, which is really nice. Yeah, it's fun.
That is super awesome. And then for your youth groups, you guys are youth group. Yeah, we only have one. Yeah.
Do you have another youth group that I don't know about?
No.
You better not.
Oh, no.
No. But you guys help out. You guys do visuals and stuff. But you guys also just hang out with our youth, and you really do spend a lot of time with them. And it's really fun that you've kind of carved your place into the youth group fabric. And so people are like, "Oh, Katie and Kyle." And you guys are like, it's funny because we get called the dynamic duo all the time, but I think you guys are far better. Well, I mean, obviously you're kind of engaged. Congratulations! But you guys are an amazing couple. You really are a power couple. You guys do and shape life together, which is super, super cool.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, she makes me
Are you
look
Batman?
really good.
No.
He's
yeah,
Robin.
she's definitely Batman.
She's Batman. Yeah, definitely.
No.
Yeah.
You could actually do that. You used to be a gymnast, so I'm sure you still got some of those moves packed away.
She has all of them.
Yeah.
She's just not allowed to do any of them.
I might just wind up face first on the ground, being carted away.
No.
Yeah.
Every fighter still has one fight left in them, right? I'm sure every
And
gymnast
it's
still has
usually their last fight.
one tumble, right? You're saving it. It's gonna be you guys like on vacation in New York City, and some mugger comes to come by, and you're like, gymnast move.
Yeah, she's gonna parkour away and I get stabbed.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I pity the person that kind of comes up on you guys. They're gonna probably think, oh, here's like a unprotected little meat girl that can't do anything, and who they've met is easily. I mean, you have superpowers. You are, pain does not affect you the way that it affects other people. And then of course Kyle is just a hulking like piece of man. You're 6'2".
6'5", 6'6".
You're super tall.
I don't know. I'm done growing though. I'm scared. I am still growing though.
Are you still growing?
Yeah.
Literally, we have a little mark on our
Oh
door
my gosh.
frame.
Okay, well actually men could keep growing until they're 25, so
Yeah, that's what we heard. I hope it's not a disease because this is
I
terrifying.
say he has elephantitis.
It's a little different, but same.
Your whole body's infected by elephantitis.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mean looks like Andre
giantism.
the Giant.
Yeah.
I know. I say that people probably get the biggest kick of us like walking around because they've never seen a giant and a dwarf hanging out together.
You're taller than me. Don't
heeled shoes.
That's true.
Nice.
So, and it depends on the day. Some days I'm shorter. It just kind of depends on
Oh,
how
I know
things
those days. Yeah.
shift.
Oh my goodness gracious, I love it. Kyle, you should go into professional wrestling if nothing else works out for you.
There we go.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would definitely go to those matches.
There we go.
I would see
Yeah.
that.
What would your name be?
Gentle giant.
Viking ballerina.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I would be all about that gimmick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Horns and a tutu.
Horns and a tutu, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the name of your finisher move?
Oh, the pirouette.
The sparkly death.
Spark.
Here it comes with the
I like
sparkling
coming out
death
with
off the
that.
top rope.
The pirouette.
And in this corner, Viking ballerina with his signature move, the sparkly death.
I like it.
Yes. I can market that. I can make a lot of money marketing. It's gonna be awesome. Oh my gosh, I love hanging out with you guys. Oh, talking about hanging out with you guys. Now we're completely lost. I'm not even looking at my notes anymore.
It happens.
Yeah. I love that we set up the podcast so we can just talk about whatever we want. But I hate you guys so much. And my wallet hates you so much. Katie and Kyle introduced me to Chipotle like a year ago.
Poodle.
Poodles.
I refused to go there, and they took me out to lunch. We were first getting to know one another, and I love it so much now. My closest friends all know I probably go there at least once or twice a month. And if I could go there more often without gaining weight or losing that money, I probably would. Also, because I finally got guacamole and I paid for it, I get guacamole every time now.
I know, you get suckered into it. I know, and they ask you every time. See, they're like, this costs extra. You're like, oh, I
don't
know,
even care.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
Right.
It's
It's like
need
good.
it.
lambs to
need
the
it.
slaughter.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't even care. I just want it. I don't care if it's $3 extra. I don't actually know how much extra it is. That's how.
I don't even want to know.
No.
I don't want to. It could be $8.
Just charge it to me. I just,
Yeah. Just put it on.
Yeah.
Put it on the tab.
no, I don't want a receipt. Just keep it.
Right.
Throw it away. Burn it.
They're
bury it in the
chips
backyard.
too, though.
Their chips are so good.
With the lime
it's
and
lime.
man,
Yep.
we buy like bags of it. They're like, "Do you want a bag of chips?" Like, no, I want 5. Just that whole rack up there. Just give that one to me. That's good.
And they're so fresh that the next day you cannot eat them.
It's
Because
true.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you guys introduced that to me. I can always tell when you guys aren't having good days either because I find you eating Chipotle.
That's
Right?
true.
Yeah. Wasn't it, I think it was like last Wednesday you showed up to church and you weren't feeling so hot and you had like a jar of salsa.
There was a cup. You get it out of
Yeah.
a cup.
It was like a 60-ounce cup and like a gallon-sized bag of tortilla chips.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You guys have changed my life because I'm the same way. Today is an awful day.
Yeah.
I'm getting Chipotle.
Yeah.
I deserve it.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about chips and salsa that just make you feel good inside. Me too.
Oh my goodness. I love it. Thank you guys for that kind of stuff. We'll get more into the interview.
Let's just talk about food.
I could. Don't get me
We could
started.
do a whole podcast on food. I know.
That if you see me with Mexican food or ice cream, just it's not a good day for
Yeah.
You
me.
guys know all the Mexi spots in town.
Yeah.
They took me to Costa Vida too. I've
Yeah.
never been there before. They got great street tacos.
Oh,
Yeah.
they have great flan too,
Oh, girl.
Oh, it's fantastic.
You know I love some flan.
Yeah.
and they
Like-
don't like curdle the eggs.
I was
or
gonna say
anything.
properly cooked
Yeah,
flan. Yeah.
smooth. It's
If you guys want to know the Mexican spots in town, you got to get to know Katie and Kyle. They'll show you. Yeah.
whitest people in the church.
Gosh, I love it. I love it. Oh, we're planning on having you guys over. We set a date. I have to ask my mom or whatever, which is kind of fun. Oh, so the audience doesn't know. So my mom decided to go back to school a few years ago, and she's one of the most beautiful and talented people I've ever met. Thank you, Mom. But Katie or Kyle and my mom go to the same school, and so they became friends without knowing that they had a shared connection. Me,
Yep.
and my mom would come home and tell me stories about Kyle and how amazing he is, and then I would go hang out with him like the day after, and then we put 2 and 2 together and figured out that we were all connected together. So now my mom really loves Katie and Kyle too, and they were like, "Oh, what do we feed them?" Like Mexican food.
Duh.
Yeah. So my family makes some of the best tacos you're ever gonna have.
We're excited.
Yes. So it's good. Anywho, talking about the actual interview and getting down to Katie and Kyle. Goodness gracious. You guys work like 15 jobs. You're always going. You're like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys do? Like just real rough.
So, just me alone, I work 3 different jobs. So the first one is Katie's dad owns a construction company, so I do some estimating for him. We started our own business a year ago, almost a year and a half ago. 2 years. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. Doing videography, photography, and design. And then I also manage...
Which you guys are great at. I've got to hang out with you a couple times and watch you work your magic.
We wing it. We just wing it, honestly.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest about it. I think you wing it a little bit more than Katie does.
No, that's totally true. No.
I just fake it better.
I've seen Katie with your guys' clients, and you are
She's
phenomenal.
fantastic, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yep.
A leader of leaders.
You're making me blush.
Yeah. No, literally. Yeah, if you need 50 people moved at a wedding, she's got you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like herding cats just comes naturally to her.
Serious.
She's the Pied Piper.
Well, and when you were taking photos with us, that was probably the worst wedding we've ever done. It was rough, just moving people around, and she was a champ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those people were unruly. In the best way possible. I mean, they were very friendly, but
Yeah. Yeah.
they were like that cow in the middle of the street that just won't move. You're like, you're a pretty cow.
Yeah,
Girl, I
right.
got to get going. Yeah, and you were fantastic with them.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That was not my brightest shining moment there. That was difficult.
No.
So thank you for
Yeah.
telling me that it looked like it was going well.
It
Because
does.
inside I was...
I didn't know it was bad until you guys told me after all.
Oh, well,
yeah,
then,
it was
great.
all done. You're like, yeah, that was a bad experience. But
Fake it till you make it.
Yep.
so not to cut you off. So you work doing construction and estimations.
Estimating, yeah.
Yeah,
Estimating,
and
yeah.
then you've got your own videography, photography, editing, all that digital stuff. And then what else do you do?
And then we do social media for Mercedes, Nissan, and Kia
that's
of
right.
Portland.
Just
Yeah.
him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then you're a student too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Warner Pacific, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy cool. And then Katie, you help out on a lot of those little things here and there.
Yeah, so Huey does the stuff for my dad. I do the stuff for my mom. So I'm an administrative assistant in the office. So I get to do all the jobs that my mom doesn't want to do, is how I explain it. And then I do the photography side of our own company and editing pictures. And then quite a bit of the design stuff. But he does more of the, like, internet design. I do more of, like, the actual, like, hard copy design. So, like, if people want a monogram made for their wedding or invitations or save the dates or fun things like that, I do that. So, yeah.
Gosh, you guys are so cool. Anybody that's seen any of my photos or stuff that I take, because I bring my camera wherever I go now, I'm just paparazziing it up just to get practice in.
Yeah.
And it is really
really good.
fun when people are like, oh, I like that photo. Like, that's cool, because Katie and Kyle taught me how to be a better photographer.
Stop.
It's true.
We didn't teach you anything.
I
We
know.
just threw you in the pool
We
with
totally
a bunch
did.
of sharks, and we said, "Hey,
Swim.
buddy, good luck. Like, if you need any help, then go ahead and ask us." But yeah,
Or
it was,
look it up
was all you.
online.
Adam, I think you might agree with this. The reason why I love hanging out with Katie and Kyle, because they're some of the most humble, modest people I've ever met.
Yeah, I guess it's so hard. Sometimes, like, I just want to do things for you guys, or like take a break. Like, how can I help you? And you're like, we're good. Give us more. We're gonna keep going. And I'm like, stop working so hard. But you guys love it. And you just keep going, and then you never want anything back in return.
Yeah.
I mean, just doing it because it's fun. We meet new people and we make new relationships and we have a good time when we do what we do. So it's like that's kind of our benefit and our gift is just, being able to hang out with the people and doing the stuff. And then when you give back to somebody and their reaction, they're just like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. It's like, we're good. Like, that fuels us. We're good.
Yeah.
You guys work tirelessly. I don't know too many other people that work as hard as you guys do, and it's amazing that you both are so driven that you guys like you don't compete with one another, but you definitely support one another
Yeah.
in that drivenness, which is super cool. But you can't work all the time you aren't actually superheroes. You are human. What do you guys do to like rest up and fulfill yourself so you can get back out there? Obviously, sleep is probably lower on the list. Right. Anybody that works as hard as you guys do, you don't get as much sleep. But what do you guys do for fun, I guess, to like kind of lift your spirits up and get you going?
We had started a very awesome habit of playing Call of Duty Zombies at night just to wind down. So we would start at like 10 o'clock, and then we'd be in bed by probably like, 1 o'clock after playing a 3-hour round of zombies. But yeah, we love doing that. We love playing video games, finding new games. We just started streaming live, which is terrifying.
Twitch?
On Twitch.
Yeah.
So, we've been doing that, and that's how we like to wind down.
Yeah. I love it. You guys talk to me about retro games pretty often. Actually, I just asked if you guys would bring Mario Kart 64.
Yep.
Yes.
And yeah, because you guys play all those old games too.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
That was a fun night. I love that we did that, and the kids were all about Mario Kart.
Yeah,
It was
they
so
like that.
funny, but they didn't know like the controls or anything, and Kyle and I are just sitting there like, we grew up on this game.
Get that boost.
This
Yeah, right.
Right? Left turn.
Yeah, right.
There's a secret turn.
Right. Well,
Jump through the waterfall.
I mean, we would go to each other's house after school when we were like, what, 8th, 9th grade?
Yeah.
And we would go and play Mario Kart after school together. It's like, we've been playing that for forever.
One of my favorite parts was one of the youth gals who was playing Mario Kart. We like hand her the controller to play, and she looks at this Nintendo 64 controller and goes, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And like, it's not the best controller for gaming, but it's like one of the most iconic. And it was just so funny to her, like, "What is this?" And like, it was one of those moments where I was like, I'm old.
Right.
I'm old. You have no idea who this is. And they're just like, who are these characters other than Mario and
Yeah.
Luigi?
I know. I love that the controller has like 3 handles. Like, have you ever used that far left
No, but it
side?
uses-
D-pad.
Yeah. Like, has anybody ever touched that? It's like you only use the toggle stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of games where
There's
you might
someone in the
actually-
audience who's like, I use it all the time. Why are you judging me?
If you do, props to you. 'Cause I have never touched that.
They're probably the best player at whatever they play, too.
That uses
They've
it.
mastered
skill,
the
right?
D-pad.
I don't like other people watching me play N64 because I hold the right part of the controller and I use like a pronged notion to like move the joystick like if it was actually a joystick. I watch everyone else and they use their thumb and I have like this weird like
Stop. That is elegant.
How do you get...
Oh my gosh. How do you hit Z?
Yeah.
I use this
Wow.
finger, my ring
Whoa.
finger. Yeah, so I like yeah.
Oh, yes.
I almost feel like a professional gamer because if you watch like professional gaming channels, they all have the weirdest like
Right.
hand like formations to the controller, and I've got my own like weird hand formation, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm actually really good
Awesome.
at N64. Just throwing it out there, I might be the greatest GoldenEye player / original Super Smash Brothers player. Period.
Somebody's got to challenge Chester. Oh, man.
I feel like I could take you original Smash Bros, but you are a mean GoldenEye player. I will give you that.
Who's your original Smash Brothers character?
Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
He is the original Smash Bros character.
Jigglypuff.
What?
I play
Somebody
Fox.
good with Jigglypuff?
I play Fox on every other console game, but I will destroy you with Jigglypuff.
Oh my gosh. My favorite's Fox, but I've never heard of anybody being good with Jigglypuff.
Oh yeah. 3 hits, you're gone.
See, I'm the other way around. Where like I won't use Jigglypuff in the first ones, but you give me the newest one, and I will put you to sleep. And
No, she's garbage in the other one.
she's so good.
Do you know that Jigglypuff has a 1-hit KO? Yeah.
Sleep.
I'm sorry, 1-hit KO combo. So the sleep is you got to be really good.
Right.
Here's the trick, and I'll put it on the podcast, right? Because you got the skills and the timing. It's not.
Yeah.
She has a corkscrew kick in the first game that she doesn't have in the other ones.
What?
And so you can come death from above. That's what I call it. You can come from the top, corkscrew kick down, and then hit sleep instantly, and then gone off the edge of the map because you're always going to be next to her when she sleeps. And I can hit it every time. It's like MJ like throwing that free throw. Like I'm gonna hit it every time.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, I feel bad. Anyway, this is awful. We're talking about food and video games. Yeah, I know. Oh, it's such a hodgepodge. That's fantastic. I love it. Anyway, you guys get rested and you're always busy and that kind of thing, and you're very successful in what you're doing right now, and it only is growing more and more apparent as you guys were talking about earlier, you keep saying yes to projects that you don't even know how to do, but because you guys are so resourceful and you believe so strongly in yourselves, you
more so in each other.
I think of a lot of it comes from God too. Like, you put this in front of me, all right, let's try to do it. And if you can't do it, then you fail, and then you feel bad about yourself for the rest of your life. But other than that,
just put on that Josh Groban. Right. You leave me up. No, I love it. But you guys weren't always like this, right? You had humble beginnings and you were starting out. Katie, you're a fantastic photographer. Your shots are amazing, and you can really craft a story with just still images.
Thank you.
But you started out with wanting a camera before you were ever a photographer.
Yes.
And your first camera was, you were trying to describe it to me.
Yeah, so my family, we weren't well off. We were pretty poor when I was younger, so Christmas was pretty, my mom and dad would work forever to be able to get us, those things that we wanted for Christmas. And so my mom and my aunt would always go in together on a present, and it was this little, bright green plastic, not a disposable camera, but the same kind of shape where you had to like wind it and put film in it, and it was just like this nothing. But I was 10 at the time, and it was the coolest thing that I had ever seen. And I accidentally opened the film first, and I still remember that, like, in my head, that I opened the film before I opened the camera, and I thought my family was just playing a joke on me, like, haha, you're never gonna get a camera, here's the film. And when I opened up the camera, I was, like, almost in tears, because it was just, like, such a big purchase for my family at the time to be able to get me this camera, and I still have it to this day. Guaranteed it doesn't work, but, it's been something that was super cool for me. But, yeah, started from nothing, and I didn't even think that I would ever wind up on this path. I always thought that it was just something fun and cool that I did, I was just always fascinated by the concept of photography and images and different things like that, so...
Yeah, and you're really good at it, and you can tell not by just the pictures, because they are really beautiful, but you can always tell somebody that has an expertise, a mastery of a skill when you can then teach it. I remember standing in the field with your dog, your dog is super cool, but you were like, cool, take these pictures here. In like half an hour, you had taught me more than anything I had tried to teach myself over YouTube and the internet. Your skill is great, and that's cool that it started out such humble beginnings.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And I'm sure that camera actually still does a job that it always was meant to do, which is to spur you on and encourage you to greater heights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad you kept it. And then, so that's your photography, which is super cool. And then you guys double team, because when you guys do shoots and stuff, Katie does photography, and then Kyle does videography, which... Katie's camera is beautiful. She's got some really cool gear, and it's really fun to watch her work through it. And Kyle's same thing, because you guys your skill has grown, and so the tools that you now use have to grow along with you. And Kyle has a crazy, beautiful camera. It's unreal. But you didn't start out that way either, being able to take beautiful videos and that kind of stuff. You were telling me a story about like when you were younger, you were taking videos of people on just really homemade-y kind of things, right?
Yeah. I would get a lot of videos from people's phones, but I couldn't collectively put them all together. I didn't have good editing software, so the only editing software I had used before, I could overlay pictures and put music to it, and the first video that I did was this really goofy video of all of our friends, and I did My Heart Will Go On from the Titanic, and then also
Celine Dion, that's my
yes,
yeah.
And then also Jar of Hearts, and it was just this. You watched the video and it left you feeling really, really weird.
It sounds like the best parts of YouTube right there.
Right. Right. I know, I'll have to find it. Then I can go ahead and put it up.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pictures of us when we were like 13.
Yeah.
Super funny.
So then we had decided to just start a business, and then we were shooting off of DSLRs. And if anybody knows, or if anybody is shot off of a DSLR for video, it gets too shaky. So I had to invest in this $3,000 camera.
It's beautiful.
I love it. Yeah, so I can actually do moving shots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's so cool that you guys have. It's 10 years, 10 plus years, right around there.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Coming on like 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we've known each other.
Right. Yeah, that too. Yeah, actually, the strength of, I mean, the honest strength of anything that you guys do comes from your relationship. Because although I think both of you guys would be successful in your own right if you weren't together, I don't think either one of you would be as successful as you are right now without the other person.
No, definitely not.
Which is a true testament to who you guys are as people, both individually and as a couple, which is crazy, crazy cool. That's actually kind of cool because we were talking about before this. We'll just segue into you guys are growing as a couple. You guys just got recently engaged a little over a month ago, almost 2 months ago.
September 29th.
Yeah,
so on my birthday,
and
that's quite the gift.
I was like, that would have sucked if I said no. Worst birthday ever.
But now best birthday
I know,
ever,
right?
so
Yes.
I would never have
you
said
gotta roll
no.
the dice.
told me
Never would have said no.
a week, 2 weeks before, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. And I knew when it was happening roughly around the time, and I was like welling up inside, like, oh, I'm so excited. No, I love that you guys are, but you guys are going to continue to grow together. You're eventually going to get married soon. You guys are looking at venues and doing all that jazz, which is super exciting. Everyone loves a wedding. But where are you guys going to be in 5 years? Where do you think your relationship is going to take you? What kind of heights do you guys think you guys going to achieve? Are you guys going to get a dog? Do you want a house?
Yeah. We're gonna have a lot of dogs. I want to
Babies.
Yeah, a lot of dogs, a lot of babies. And I said 3 before, but I mean, I don't know. 20, the sky's the limit. We don't know.
I just want my own army.
We might pass Luke and his family, the Haynes. I know,
We've
right?
got
That's
some
a big.
That's an
bridges
army,
to
right?
fill.
That's an army.
Yeah. So we want to stay here in Vancouver, though. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my bachelor's in business administration in December. So hopefully I can do something with that down the road. I do want to get into business consulting. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
What do you guys, are you going to, we were joking around about, if you don't know Katie, you definitely got to get to know her. Their house, like where they're living right now, is like Pinterest perfect. It's got
like that.
Yeah.
Best compliment ever. Yes.
And I imagine, given more space, right, it would be pretty phenomenal. I need to see like a blog,
you.
like when you guys get your own house, and I'm sure you're gonna be Pinterest like famous. I think that's a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing, but that would be pretty cool.
You know, you can make it whatever you want.
It's really funny because we're buying wedding decorations and different things like that, and every time I bring new wedding decorations home, I find a place for them in our room. So, like, the whole entryway of our room is completely different now because it's all filled with wedding decorations. And I'm like, dude, this is the best thing ever. You get wedding decorations, and they double as your decorations for your
Yeah.
house. So,
Yeah, always a wedding. Ooh,
Right. Stop.
that could be fun.
Yeah.
super fun.
Yeah.
Once, twice, 3 times a wedding.
I'm
No.
okay with once.
Yeah,
Is that a phrase?
that's a song.
I was like, do people say that? You know me, once, twice, 3 times a wedding.
I'm just aging myself. So funny. I actually love these podcasts. We got to interview Melinda. Hers is already out, her podcast now, by the time this airs. But most of the audience doesn't know. But Adam was one of my youth when I was here, and they kind of know that. But so are Katie and Kyle. I think the last time I really got to hang out with you guys was winter camp. I don't know did you go to winter camp? Kyle went to winter camp, but you didn't go to winter camp.
Yeah.
And it was funny just thinking about like, oh man, I used to hang out with them when they were teenagers, and now we're like all friends and contemporaries and working, and yeah, it's kind of fun. So yes, I'm old, ish, something like that. Yeah,
But you're young at heart.
I am young. Goodness, we had. We all dressed up. We all did the Halloween event here.
Yes.
And we all we all had different parts. You were playing Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah.
Thunder
Yes.
Lips from Rocky 3. Yeah.
We had really great ideas to make that costume work, and then life happened.
We all had really great ideas. Only you and Adam executed.
That gingerbread costume, though, was incredible.
So
I was pretty excited about
Reese already ruined the magic for our podcast. So our audience already knows that we record multiple podcasts like all together. It saves time, people. Don't judge us. How do you think they make television shows? But as we record, there's always more members in our room. So although we are recording, Katie and Kyle, Natalie Moulton's hanging out with us too, and she was the gingerbread man. It was fantastic.
It was a really, really entertaining process.
Definitely. Yeah. But I'll save that for Natalie. We'll talk about that.
Can I just say that I'm mad that I didn't get in a single picture with, like, any other Candyland members?
I had to, like, physically, like, grab Shauna and Natalie and be like, take a picture with me. And we only have, like, one picture. I don't even know if, like, Byers got any good pictures of, like, the Candyland people. The Haynes family was dressed up super adorably as all the characters.
I was going to say, you got to be with the other Lord Licorice.
Yeah, that was super cool, but all the other Candyland members were so good too, and I wish we could have just had one picture of all of us.
We could Photoshop it.
Oh my gosh. Hannah.
Would you?
Was it Hannah? I think it was Hannah.
Yeah.
The guitar?
The guitar. That, like, made her day. Kyle was looking at, I don't know, she sent you?
It was on Facebook.
Oh, it was on Facebook.
Yeah, and her and Mercedes had a conversation.
Right. So our friend Hannah put up a photo of her. It's kind of like black and white sepia tony kind of thing. Yeah, she's like in a field, and she looks like a country star, like something that you'd see like on a T Swizzle cover or something.
Yeah.
And I guess somebody made the comment of like, hey, the only thing that you're missing is a guitar. And then we were all hanging out the other day, and she's telling us this conversation, and she shows this picture. It's beautifully photoshopped. It's not like a janky like version of it. It looks so good. And she was so happy. She was like, I'm a country western country.
Are you serious? Oh, that's so funny. Because all she did was like, oh my gosh, this made my night. Like, I'm dying. That was it. So we were just like, oh, okay, moving on.
No, she's totally bragging about it. You totally made her day.
Loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a power team on Photoshop. So I'll like insert the images in there, and then Katie makes it all beautiful. Yeah.
How do you spell love?
How do I spell love?
How do youth spell love?
Youth. Time.
Yeah. You guys gave her time, and that was fantastic.
About 30 seconds of it.
But, you know, for any other person, that was like a 2-hour feat. So it would have taken me so long to do that.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Photoshop is a nightmare, and when I was trying to teach myself how to use it, I would literally watch like YouTube tutorials on how to do it, and I would get to the end of it, and it's so intricate that if you don't have like certain eyes turned on or layers on certain levels, it won't work. So you watch this like 30-minute video to get to the end of it, and I'm like, do the last step and expect the picture to do what I want it to, and it wouldn't, and I would burst into tears, and I would be so frustrated. And there were times where Kyle had to like take the computer from me and be like, we're gonna take a break from this. So trust me, Photoshop is a beast. So if you can't do Photoshop, don't feel bad, because it's kind of like my nemesis.
But hang in there.
I can color inside the lines.
That is a feat. And I had to buy a little like pad thing to be able to do that, because I couldn't do it.
I love it. Anywho, you guys are absolutely fantastic.
You are.
We really just ran through the gamut of hodgepodginess. I love that we stay true to our brand.
I know. You guys get the award for most hodgepodge in an interview.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited to see our friendship and our kind of work relationship grow over the next however long. And I'm so glad that you guys are living here in Vancouver and planning on getting married and wanting to start a family here, because I can't imagine a better place for me to settle down. There's some short, cute girl out there. I'm probably going to marry her and do something. And I want to be here in Vancouver. And I want my friends to be nearby. And I'm really excited to hang out with Katie and Kyle.
You guys are great. We love you guys.
Yeah, we love you guys too.
No,
Yeah.
All right, with that, guys, we're probably going to go find some Chipotle because I'm feeling real hungry right now. Yeah. We'll see you guys next week on COBLAB. Bye.
Bye.